And here we are back with the race. So sorry if the stream went out, but we had a problem with the lobby and it crashed everything. Stream, game, lobby. So here we are back. Alongside me, as always, Webbo.
Yes, hey everybody. Thank you so much for your patience, and hopefully everybody's been able to get back into the stream. But we'll keep an eye on it on the live chat as usual, of course.
Yep.
We have got a fantastic qualifying session, all done and dusted, and it's a captivating race in front of us, not only in the midfield but potentially at the front as well. The two Mercedes looking very strong.
Yeah, we're gonna see how this is gonna change with the brand new set of tires for everyone at the start, since the lobby has changed. So also new strategic possibility for the one who chose medium or softs from P11 to P20.
Yeah, plus we will I'm sure see drivers who will forget their setup. Happens every time I see a lobby glitch. We end up with that happening.
Yeah, so hopefully everyone is gonna remind to put their setups on, otherwise it's gonna be a nightmare race with the standard setup.
Well, there's a bit of a pause at the moment, so at least some people are remembering to put that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's wait. We have waited a little bit too much for comfort, but we are back and we just won some really good racing to commentate on, to enjoy.
Hopefully we will be. It will be worth the wait, I'm sure.
I think there is an error in the custom grid. Brabus is qualified P2, but Warren is saying that he's P4, and he's actually
it's
P4.
Very easily done. It is a very difficult job to do, so I feel for the people who were involved in doing that. But it's difficult, but hopefully we can just live with it. It's not really worth a complete restart for the sake of 2 places. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's hear Barks. Maybe he's gonna. I don't think he'll see the messages. So I think we're gonna stick with it. We're gonna stick with Brabus being P4 instead
Kind of glad about that. Yeah.
Oh, yes, Manic and Pat disqualified.
Pat team are just having a terrible time of it so far. They're both disqualified from qualifying, disqualified from the first formation lap and the second one. What are they up to?
Pat disqualified in every session we've had. Every qualifying, the first formation lap and now the second formation lap as well.
Wow. Yeah. Shocking stuff, unfortunately for them, but we will thankfully they're at the back of the grid, so
yeah.
not going to cause problems for anybody else.
As Manic forgot to put his setup on, sadly for him. This is gonna be an hard challenge to do 71 laps around Austria in these conditions.
Yeah, look out for someone with low top speed there, Manic, potentially.
At least the weather is, I think, completely sunny. It's not cloudy anymore.
It's true.
And the two asses
I prefer racing when it's cloudy. Actually, it's a lot less distracting.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
From the cockpit, so yeah, it's definitely an extra challenge the drivers weren't ready for. But we're almost there.
We're really almost there. We're just waiting the last few cars to get in the line, and now they have to regain the focus, and also they have to get speed up for the first lap, as now we are starting with 2 lights, 3 light, 4 light, 5 light, and we go racing in Austria. Let's see, Simopet's got a really nice start alongside Trackster, who is gonna let him have the corner surely, and he does. Dershark driving really wide, as Brabus is now fighting him through turn 3, and now they're alongside, and also Trackster is fighting for a position on Simopez around the outside. Simopez gets the position. Brabus gets P3 back on the Red Bull.
Really bad start for Moti Perez, for Zabijaka and Tibran. Manek also struggling away from the line at the back, but the midfield all surviving that first corner.
Yeah, everything seems pretty much the same apart from Warren, who has done a fantastic job. 3 places. Ooh, and who is dropping? Ercus Montes is round, has lost the car, and his Ferrari is now in dead last. As F1 Racing, Warren is finding some incredible pace. Actually, no, he's losing.
Through that second sector, and his teammate and Sicario recovering their places he'd already gained.
Yeah, sadly for him, a fantastic start, but...
oh, look at this in the midfield, down at Wimax, NXQK ran the outside, several cars diving to the pit lane already. There's Warren, there is Wimax in the pits.
Madness.
Pat up to P13, what is going on? Pat taking their halves, up to P13 already. We've got a side-by-side battle on the way into turn 1 as well between Tibran and Moti Perez, trying to recover their lost places.
Madness at the start of lap 1 in Austria. Incredible stuff from everyone. I don't know how there was no incident going into turn 9. There were people crossing their roads to go to the pit lane, and in fact there is an incident between an Aston Martin and Pat, who has lost the car.
He had such a good start, and yeah, now a big yellow flag sector around that turn 4. There's some debris on the circuit as well.
Yeah, and we have to focus also on Brabus, who is 3/10 behind Traxxer without DRS, so he's pushing to get in the DRS range of Simopets, and don't let him go too far away. Phenomenal start by Simopets, who got a really nice launch from the line, nice jump.
I do feel the sporting thing would have been for Brabus and for Truckster and Dirtshark to let Brabus in front. Oh, big problem for Truckster. Spins in turn 1 on the exit of turn 1. It's facing the wrong way right now, waiting for a safe rejoin opportunity, and he's going to be waiting a long time to get this car back on track. The Alpine dropping down to what, P15 now, trying to recover in front of Pat, but Truckster from P2. Just as P2. I was saying, he was being, he should have been sporting. Big problem between Dirtshark
is round.
Brabus.
Incredible.
He manages to do a spin turn off the racing line, does he? That he just
he rejoined quite unsafely. He risked
right in
so
front
much.
Of Sicario.
Yeah.
And now we see NXQK navigating the loss of momentum of Dirtshark. So the leaders are away, but the ones just behind them really struggling at this start. Ruthless Peach up to P3 and Reals Taravillo into P4. So
Brabus regaining his second place in a very strange way. Both Traxxer and Dirtshark went around. I think the incident between Dirtshark and Brabus will be investigated, because Brabus didn't left any room on the Red Bull. I think he got squeezed, completely squeezed.
It felt a little bit like a dive bomb from my view. I've only seen it once, of course, but it did look like a bit of a dive bomb from Dirtshark. I
only seen the last bits of the battle, so if it was a dive bomb, then it's gonna be a tough call for the stewards, surely. Let's jump aboard.
In the pits, another yellow flag. This time of Williams. I think it's El Crin dropping down, and we've not managed to get all our cars through turn 3 safely yet this evening, each lap.
Yeah, exactly. Has a fantastic stuff, phenomenal start from NXQK up to P7 from P16. Also Manic from P19 up to P10 in the points now.
Without a setup as well, Manic. So it's working for him so far.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's a better setup than the one he used before. As
Reals might be in range. I think you were about to say the same thing. Reals in range with the DRS now.
Let's see, otherwise we have to shift with someone else, because there are many battles on track and we can't watch them all. Let's see, Ruthless is defending quite nicely.
Struggling as well. He's going around the outside of NXQK, or trying to hold him off at least.
And Red Bull is flown off.
Simopez dropping down. Simopez has been the car on the way out of turn 5.
And he's in
into
P4.
turn 5, I should say, and he's dropping down. He's obviously lost the car.
What also Real Star V, I don't know if you saw that, almost losing the car completely and losing some time to Simopeds, who is now in P4. He probably has some wing damage, I think.
Oh, Sicario around. Sicario spins right in the
Whoa!
middle of the track, and we've had a huge shunt. That's Yoke out of the race as well. Yoke down in P10, crashed straight into the stricken Sicario's Aston Martin before it had chance to ghost or be removed from the circuit.
Simopez almost dive bombing Real Star Vio, going wide in turn 1. What is happening?
Guys, we have 71 laps tonight. You can't win it in the first 3. Wow.
Oh, and Real's going 3 wide in the
impatient.
lead. 3 wide for P2. No, sorry, 2 wide, not 3 wide.
There we go. Yellow flag in that sector as well. No, there we go. So we've managed to clear the Williams of Yoke and of Sicario. So we go back to full course green flag racing.
Incredible shunt from my view. It was incredible.
Yeah. Now we have a 3-way battle for this podium positions again.
Simopez, 3-second time penalty. He's struggling.
It feels like Simopez is really driving quite desperate right now, Leox.
Yeah, he surely has some damage, for sure. Or maybe he's really frustrated by his mistake, because he's hanging on with Ruthless and Restoravio, battling for P2.
I see nothing visible on the car, but of course the damage model is such that there can be so many different types of damage through the floor, through the side pods. Now we should get some action down into turn 2 and 3.
Let's see who is gonna make the jump. Real Star Via going to the right, Ruthless staying on the racing line, Simopets choosing the center of the 2, trying to get the switchback of Dreams on both of them. He stays P4, but he has a nice run on Ruthless, who has the slipstream of Real Star Via, but is backing off. And now Simopets may have a look on Real Star Via inside to do another overtake, and he does.
It's all wrong. Good move from Simopez. Now we're seeing a bit more patience, and it looks like Real Staravello possibly outbraked himself there.
Yeah, he did in turn 4. Let's see if Simopez has the pace. He's shaking a bit through this second sector, so you can tell he's pushing as much as he can, and Reals has to stay in the DRS if he wants to fight for the lead for P2 in this moment, but for the lead maybe afterward.
Simopez has a huge job on his hands today, Leox. He's got a 6-second deficit and add on to that a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, so it's not the start he wanted, Simopez. It's the very first challenge that he's facing on the very first race, actual race of the season for him. As Tibran gets 3-second time penalty, Moti Perez is in the pit after 7 laps on the medium
tires as well, so
yeah.
There must be some damage to be repaired.
Exactly. So the trio battling for P2 is gaining on Brabus, already gained 4 tenths in the first half of the lap. So they are gaining a lot, and we can, if Reals and Ruthless manage to hang on with Simopez, we might be able to see a 4-way fight for the lead.
Yeah, I think Brabus could be saving his tyres at this point, trying to stretch this gap, trying to stretch this stint out as much as possible. We'll be keeping an eye on the gap at the moment, but it's dropping pretty quickly.
Yeah, Rails is not in the DRS lane, and he managed just about to be in it, but he's almost losing the car there. So now Ruthless is gonna have a chance.
He gained it, but retirement for Sinful.
Sinful
in the pits.
Yeah.
As well. So a voluntary retirement, presumably too much damage on the car to drive it.
Yeah, so we have already lost 3 drivers, and Nicolas Boita is not very happy in the stream. So
yes, we've had unhappy championship leaders for the first 2 races of the year. Hopefully we can smooth it out. I do know that there was plenty of warning in the Discord about the change to the daylight saving time here in the UK. Unfortunately, that has triggered some problems over the Atlantic in Brazil. But hopefully, we will see Nicolas back strong next week.
Next week, yeah, because now Brabus, the reserve, is leading the race. How good can he feel to be the reserve and leading? But also, at the same time, frustrating because you're on the bench, but you're leading the Grand Prix on your very first race.
The only job you've got is to prove your worth as a reserve and be first of the queue next time that there's an opportunity. So he's doing the right thing as Ruthless Pige rams the back of Rails Taravillo into turn 3. Sorry, really very, very late on the brakes.
Ooh, Trackster really close on Manic, fighting for P8. Impressive start by Manic, from P19 up to 8 without a setup.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely shows you that qualifying isn't everything. Plenty to play for here tonight, and I think we're going to see more accidents, more errors from the drivers as the tyre wall starts to take effect towards the end of this soft stint, which won't be too far away.
Yeah, and Trackster is on pure pace. He's obviously faster than Manic because he was fighting for P2 up there. Imagine what the fight would have been with Trackster and Dershark in there with the top 4.
Yellow flag, sector 1.
Ruthlessly. Yeah. Maybe he had contact with with Realster Vio. We haven't seen it.
More contact, I think we should say. Truckster though, the track is green back for Truckster, and he's got the DRS on Manic.
Around the outside he goes.
Quite comfortably. Just needs to get this braking zone right.
And he
didn't really.
Yeah. He didn't, but I think he actually doesn't have the straight line speed because Manic is coming back at him down inside in turn 4. Trackster is fighting, and now he's gonna have the better line for turn 5, but it's gonna be a really close call as Manic tries to go around the outside.
Good racing room. Really good racing between the two of them.
Ooh,
still side by side. Manic gets the inside through turn 8. And will he get the overlap by the time they get to turn 10? Not quite. Truckster just had the drive out of turn 8.
I would have loved to see them side by side through turn 9 and 10.
I don't think you would have seen them side by side. There's 2 consecutive corners. I think one of them would have been in the bin after that one.
Probably. You're right. So still the fight is on.
Simapez has had another problem, sorry Leox, but Simapez has dropped down to P5. Brabus' lead now 10 seconds on Rails Taravillo.
And Barks is now up to P4, amazing stuff, but Simapez is coming back at him, and he's going down inside turn 4, locking a little bit up. Barks is really close to the rear hand of Simapez, who gets P4 back. What is happening?
Nicholas Boyter says in the chat he'll happily take Brabus' points.
I don't think it does work like that, but
no, sadly not.
You can try, but I don't think it will work.
You'll take them for the constructors, I think, maybe.
Yeah. So a really close field. Many drivers can fight for the podium, I have to say, from Dershark to Trackster if he managed to get the pace on. They're all gonna fight for the podium places since Dershark and both Simapez as penalty.
Yeah, and looks like Manic, Truckster can't shake Manic off.
Yeah.
Manic is right there with him again. He'll have the DRS. Didn't get the best exit on turn 1, but he'll have the DRS again down the next straight after this one.
Yeah.
So a good braking zone. Ooh, misses the apex a little bit.
It's not gonna have a good run.
I think that cost him. Brabus gets a penalty now. So 3 cars in the top 4, all with penalties.
Yeah. Realster Vio looks like the most consistent one. He's now having a normal start. Got to see some cars flying around him in frame positions, and he's now up to P2.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Ooh, Dershark.
I think Dershark.
Oh, Dershark is out. He's out. No, it's not out, but he lost the car in turn 9. He's lost the car in turn 9. He was spinning round in turn 9, and he probably have some damage. And so another Red Bull.
Accidental pit stop from Dershark. If you
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the game takes over thinking that you're heading into the pits, whether you are or not, and he's having a front wing change. Meanwhile, Manic does have a much better run now.
I think he needed that pit stop anyways. So let's see Manic. Ooh, almost. I think he touched the rear wing of Truckster.
He was a little bit shy to take that DRS pass down the first straight. I think he wants it on the second straight, but perhaps a little late on the brakes. He takes the inside. You can definitely run side by side through here, Leox.
Yeah, but Truckster is getting the best line to get to turn 5 ahead. He has to really put a second between him and Manic in this short part of the track, the second sector. And if you're on pure pace, you're not faster like 1 to 2 seconds per lap, then you won't be able to shake your drivers behind off. Really.
Exactly. Looks like DRS yet again for Manic.
Ooh.
This battle is running and running.
And maybe there is pushing Truckster to get the time down to Ruthless P in P6.
Yeah, Brabus' lead now 12.3 seconds on Reels Taravilo.
Yeah.
Mapez has already gapped Barks by 3.5 seconds in about 2 or 3 laps there.
Impressive stuff from Barks and XQK. They are now in P4 and P5. Incredible. And Barks is not losing that much of a time. Actually, he gained a time here and there in some part of the track, so he does have some good pace for his McLaren.
Absolutely. We've got battles. We've got 3 close battles on the track at the moment. Truckster Manic, Wumax Warren, and also Dirtshock Tibran are all within DRS zone. So it's going to be difficult for us to know which one to watch.
I'm gonna stick with Warren and Wumax fighting for the points. The last point. Also, Zabijaka is really close, actually. Less than 0.3 of a second. Actually, 0.2 of a second.
And he's still on old soft tyres as well, fighting against the medium tyre Pat in front of him.
Yep.
It's the biggest tyre difference on track, I think.
Yeah, sure. An XQK 3-second time penalty. This is important because Ruthless P is closing in on him. Let's see if
Not ideal from Zabijaka. He ran into the back of Pat through turn 1, but he gets past very easily using the DRS. I think he's got more speed at this point in the race than Pat, so he didn't really need to ram him into turn 1.
Ooh, Simapets on rails. Tarvillo for P2. They weren't that close.
No,
Were
surely
they?
Rails has had a problem.
Yeah, because he overtook him on turn 1, so he surely had a problem. And now Railster and Villo, as before, needs to follow Simapez and get to Brabus, because the gap has increased even more, 15 seconds, so he definitely had a problem there. As Ruthless P has now... Well, let's jump aboard with Manic. He's inside of Truckster. Not leaving really.
Still racing room being left. It looked like Manic, who was just behind at the detection zone, should easily get the place now.
Yeah, and he does. Now, if they can work together, now Ruthless has to pass NXQK, so he's gonna lose some time. Ooh, Tibran, DNF. Tibran has retired from the race. Is the 4th
An
DNF.
unusual place to lose the car as well.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to understand that one.
In turn 2. Which is completely flat, by the way.
It's not a turn, really, is it? So, unless he had an accident and managed to take that accident all the way down the hill, that's very unusual.
Let's jump aboard with Ruthless P, who is glued to the back of NXQK going through turn 2 and 3. And he's gonna have an opportunity.
Already derating as well. He's spent all the battery.
Yeah, and Ruthless goes around the outside. Very clean pass. He's gonna be miles ahead before even the breaking point. He doesn't really catch the breaking point, but so does NXQK, and he's gonna get that P5. Barks, watch your backs. 17
is the time, Leox. I think the soft tyres are really past their best
Yeah,
and it's time to pit for some drivers who are less able to hold the tyres.
Yeah, that's right. Many drivers also got a spin out here and there, so it will influence the races and also their stability. So I think we're gonna see some drivers pitting.
Do we have any leading pit stops at this point? Reels Taravillo absolutely staying with Simapez, who we don't know whether Simapez is driving with damage. He doesn't seem to be able to close in the gap to Brabus at all.
Yeah, as Manik went into the pit, so the fight with Traxxer is over. After he got he got past him, he decides to go into the pit. So Traxxer now need to push. He's not going into the pit, so he has to push and try the overcut, which is really hard unless Manik gets some traffic ahead. And there is a big fight for P9 between Warren, Vumax and Dershark. Vumax defending quite hard, but Dershark has room on the inside and he's going for a double overtake.
He's done it again. He's done it again. He ended up dive bombing the McLaren, who left just enough room. But if McLaren hadn't been awake to that, there would have been another accident like we saw on Dirtshark earlier.
Yeah, Dirtshark is surely frustrated now. Vumax is trying to get cheeky. Yeah, there is contact. And they're going side by side, but Warren stays in P10. Dirtshark surely have a wing damage. I can't see how the dive bomb didn't give him some problems, as Real Servillo is having a look at Simapez. I think he's smart enough to understand that he doesn't have the pace to catch Brabus, so they need to work together to close this gap.
Yeah, plus with Simapez's penalty in front of him, he doesn't even need to be passing Simapez either. Desperately or in a dodgy move, can afford to be patient here at this stage of the race. Just 20 laps in at the moment.
Even if you overtake him, he won't shake it off, so it's better to save tires, save ERS behind him, and get some pace, some consistency that Simapez showed us in the very first 2 seasons. So still the battle for P9 is going on. Warren is within 3/10 of their shark, but we're not in the correct part of the track to get an overtake.
Not a normal overtake anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
We're definitely in the any part of the track is potential for a mistake, as we've already seen tonight. So we'll keep our eyes wide open as much as we can.
We have seen also mistakes in turn 2.
Yeah.
So
that's to be the first time ever.
Yeah, surely. Oh, the Real Servillo. Okay, no. He's really close, but he wants to overtake. Ruthless P down inside of Barks. Can he make this sick? Barks fighting around the outside. He's gonna have traction. He's using his battery, but they're gonna be side by side. Brabus another 3-second time penalty. That's important. As Ruthless close the overtake, Barks still has the nose in, so he won't give up. That's sure. Taking a little bit of a wider line, but now Ruthless is in P4.
Oh, bit of a move now. It looks like Warren getting.
Ooh, they are side by side
once again, and they keep ending up next to each other on track. Still looking for that racing room to be left. Dirtshot does leave the racing room, leaves himself on the outside. Surely there's at least one position to be missed here, but Manik's in the mix as well. We've got also 4 cars trying to navigate the final sector of the race.
Wow.
All together.
Incredible stuff. Vumax and Dirtshark went side by side through turn 9, and Vumax made a move stick.
A piece of this too, doesn't he? He really wants to get involved in all of this.
Yeah.
Because he's on the better tyres right now.
And now Dirtshark ran wide, and Manik gets the move. Can he have the speed to fight also with Vumax and Warren?
Here comes Vumax down the inside of Warren. Will that leave a gap for Manik? Manik's tempted. They make contact, wheel to wheel.
And now Dirtshark has an opportunity to get his place back. And he does. They're side by side, turn 3. And now Warren is almost a sitting duck. If he hadn't that DRS, Dershak ran wide and Manik gets the place.
Yeah, I think Manik will be able to get these guys if they can just stop squabbling one another. We've got NXQK and Trugster coming into the pits. Scheduled stops now for the soft tyres. Get rid of those soft tyres.
Important to see where Trugster come out, because he was fighting with Manik. Manik got some really good pace in the 3 laps that he had this brand new set of softs, but also this traffic, it's gonna pay.
Yeah.
All the advantage that he gained. Let's see Trugster coming out of the pit. It's gonna be there with a fighty, isn't it? Oh, maybe just about in front. Yes.
He has managed to make the overcut work just because of Manik getting stuck in this traffic, I think.
Yeah, and also he has now really brand new set of softs as they're fighting also. Ooh, and Manik lost some piece of his wings. I saw something flying off.
Me, it did feel like Warren cut across the front of Manik and changed his braking zone, changed his line. And a massive dive bomb again from Manik, but he doesn't make it work.
No, he doesn't. Really intense racing. And now Dershak, I think, is fancying a look up the inside as Barks now goes into the pits. He's gonna be, I think, comfortably ahead of this fight.
He will hope so. He doesn't want to get involved in this. This has all the hallmarks of something ending in tears at the end of it, I think.
I have to say they're fighting really fairly, at least before Warren cutting across the braking zone for Manik.
Yeah, there's been a few little touches between friends.
Ooh,
Rails is still within half a second of the front as well, but he's not as much action as we're likely to see in this midfield battle.
Yeah, Trackster really closed in on Barks in this outlap. He's now in the DRS range, and Vumax lost the DRS. It's only 1%. Warren is gonna dive down inside on the Ferrari, and Vumax has to concede a position.
Yeah, just place trading one lap after another with this group.
And now Hercus Monte
fancies joining in at the back. You were going to say the same thing as well, I'm sure. But
ooh,
thankfully for Barks and Trugster, they got out ahead. But oh wow, Hercus getting underneath Dirt Shark, and Hercus is on much older tyres.
We have seen an overtake from every corner of the track now. Also in turn 6, and Dirt Shark now decides to go into the pit. It's already his second pit stop, but he does have some damage, surely.
Very unusual to see him pit this early.
Yeah, and now Vumax didn't have a fantastic run. He doesn't have energy, so Manik is gonna have a room, but also Warren without DRS is leading the straight.
Has just had a problem, and he's dropping down the order, but not too quickly. So yeah, we'll go back to this midfield battle.
Yeah,
Manik and Vumax now.
Manik got in front of Vumax, and now Manik is going down inside of Warren. These two have history, and they're bumping. Warren doesn't want any kind of action with Manik, and Manik fight backs around the outside almost of turn 4.
Yes, that is turning a little bit sour now between Manik and Warren.
Yeah. Ooh, yellow flag.
History from this race, or history from the league?
No, from just this race, as far as I can remember.
I thought we might have some sort of rival situation going on.
Yeah, it would have been perfectly matched. So let's see Manik, another round against Warren. It's gonna be an easier call this time. Good run out of turn 1. Now Warren is desperate to have the DRS from Barks, but he's one lap shy because Manik gets past him.
Again.
Yeah.
They can't even drive down the straight without touching each other, Leox.
Yeah, and Manik got on the curb, so he's not gonna have a perfect run in the straight. Waiting a little bit. Yeah. And Warren is carefully trying to go down inside. Now they're side by side to turn 4. This is not gonna end well. Ooh, and the two wheels kissed. And Warren is through.
And he actually makes a mistake through turn 7, so Manik's still on the back. He had the opportunity to start building a gap, but he lost the car. Slightly hesitated on the apex of turn 7.
And now I think...
Lost out again.
Yeah. I think Warren is catching Barks and El Crane. So soon we are gonna have a battle for P7 with, I think, 6 guys fighting for P7.
Well, Warren's doing all of this on the oldest medium tyres. Well, second oldest next to just El Crane.
Yeah.
Manic again down the inside, bumps over the curb.
Really smart move from Manic.
Against the against the side pod once again. There'll be hardly any paint left on these cars by the end of it.
Yeah. Oh, Warren tries to fight back around the outside. Kenny makes the move. He doesn't. Manic gets back his P9. But
there is so little grip on the inside of that turn 5 traction zone. We see cars stepping out over and over again through there. Now the Ferraris are going to try and join in this battle.
An error from Vumax and Ercus Monte goes through. So Ercus is now in P11 and looking to pick up the scraps of the battle between Manic and Warren. And this is another round. Warren, almost losing the car. So it's not gonna have a good run here as Barks overtake El Crane going to turn 1. Side by side, Barks gets P7.
Not the best place to make an overtake work, especially if you've run out of battery, Leox, because he's now going to be vulnerable for 2 more straights.
But El Crane downshifted. Oh, and almost dive bombed him. And now Manic is gonna have an opportunity going into turn 3. Let's see, the spare between the 2 tires are incredible. It's massive. And Manic's
little update from Yoke, who just says he was in P7 on the medium tyre, but he's very disappointed. But that's racing, he says. So yeah, obviously not too upset. Just an unforced error.
Sadly for him. We have a fantastic battle here. And now El Crane has lost the DRS to Barks, so Manic is gonna have a shot going into lap 29.
Just as much action as we saw last week in the midfield. Exactly what we come here for.
So DRS
we
wide
have a
open.
Long DRS train, don't we? Here, but it's from 7th down to 12th place.
Incredible stuff. And Manic is the one on the softs, but he has already lost the sprint that soft gave you in the very first 2-3 laps. So I have to say the other drivers are on a very old compound of medium. So the difference.
Villo finally pits at the front of the field.
Yeah,
Brabus has done the same. Brabus has just come in, gone out again, stayed in the lead of the races on medium tyres. Ruthless Pige overtakes, as does Simapez. Rills in the pits. Simapez has obviously made a pit stop as well, so he's in a good place.
Yeah, Simapez got a massive undercut on Rills Taravio. They were really close, and now Rills is 8 seconds behind. Not the best call for Rills to get in the pit that late. And now Simapez, I think, can see Brabus somewhere, maybe just in the minimap at the moment, but
I think was that Pat just having a DNF there, coming out of turn 5. So Pat has left the session, unfortunately. Will be marked as 16th place. No points.
And so it's the 5th retirement as Simapets try to go around the outside of Ruthless P in turn 9. Kenny makes the move. They go side by side, and he makes it.
That's just rude.
That is
around the outside of turn 9 is incredible stuff.
That is beautiful, but now it's not gonna have a clear run into turn 3 because Ruthless P is gonna have DRS. He doesn't have a lot of energy, neither does Simo. Let's see.
But he's on much older tyres.
El Crane.
30 laps on those soft tyres.
El Crane has lost it. As Brabus just lapped Monty Perez and Zabijaka that were fighting, so he risked so much. So now Simopets He's gonna clear Ruthless P in a matter of corners. And now the action seems to have calmed down, maybe just a little bit, because the drivers are going.
Some pit stops just affecting things now as the gaps will open up. But one thing I can be sure of is that the cars will all meet again towards the end of the race.
Yeah. Vebo, I have no idea what the net position are of these guys. I can just focus on the racing. And
we'll wait for the last soft pit stop to happen, but it'll be a long time before all the pit stops are done, so we'll have to take a view once Ruthless P just rejoined.
Yeah, as he's now going into the pits.
Monte on Manic.
Almost
is having another big battle, driving in his mirrors at the moment. He's got both Ferraris tucked behind him.
Yeah, Erkus almost have the look around the outside of turn 9. He decides to think better of it, as now Erkus, as the RS doesn't have a lot of energy, so does Manic.
He almost got too close into turn 1 and lost the air off the front wing.
Ooh, really close.
Gonna happen again if he doesn't time these corners correctly. It's gonna keep losing the momentum on the way out of the corner for the long straight.
Yep. Even now, really braking like no one is ahead of him.
Yes, and he's going to lose a front wing like this too.
Yeah. If it's not going to lose Manic first.
It's going to be a loss. Dirt Shark has put hard tyres on Leox. That could be interesting later on.
Yeah, he's surely going to hand the race on these tyres, as the top 3, I assume, won't stop anymore, surely.
Yeah, and just have a quick look at the amount of penalties on the circuit at the moment. Brabus and Simapez have got the same amount.
Yeah.
But it really is alarming how many penalties have been awarded.
Yeah, it's gonna shake things off surely by the end of the race, as Trackster is fighting for P4. Ruthless P got past Barks.
And Barks is there as well. NXQK has gone up 12 places so far in the race.
Wow.
Manic up 11. But yeah, all credit to NXQK. Very quiet race so far.
Yeah.
Consistency is paying off here.
We haven't talked a lot about him, but he's just one step behind the podium. So I have a question for you. Trackster did spin in the early stages of the race, or?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And he's now in P5.
Because he was one of the drivers that.
And he's now going down inside of turn 9. Down inside Trackster of turn 9 on XQK. Ooh, they touch surely. And now NXQK is gonna have a good run in the straight. He can try a move on turn 1, and he's doing it. They're going side by side, and Trackster let him have it because he's gonna have a better line through here.
Looks like these guys are on identical soft, medium strategies tonight as well, so they'll be battling all race long.
Let's see if Trackster down inside of turn 3.
I think they were both waiting, Leox, to give the DRS over, because look at Ruthless Peach catching both of them. I think they were both hesitating there to try and get the better DRS strategy.
And now Ruthless Peach trying to make a move around the outside. Trackster doesn't outbrake himself and give the position to Ruthless, who is on a brand new set of mediums, and so he does have the sprint to maybe be in competition with these 10 old softs. 10 laps old softs.
He should be about equal now, really, on the grip, I think, on those two tyres. So, and Ruthless Peach doesn't really need to worry about treating them too carefully.
Yeah, and look at who has joined as well, Barks, P7. And now he's fighting for P4. And he doesn't have a penalty, he's the only one who doesn't have a penalty. So, he's virtually ahead of everyone.
Have a look at Ruthless Peach, they're down into turn 1, getting the job done.
Ooh, really close.
NXQK has very little ERS left here.
But he's looking right, he's looking left. They're going side 3. They're going 3 side by side. To turn 3, and NXQK get P4. Barks almost got Trackster. Ooh, shaky start. Third gear for Trackster.
Tail, doesn't he? Out of turn 3, Truckster inviting Barks to have a look.
But things looks like they've come down, maybe just for these couple of corners, because Ruthless is 3 tenths behind XQK, who is running out of energy. So he's surely gonna have a look down inside in the next lap. Now Barks is really closing in on the Alpine. Truckster needs to stay in the DRS range if he wants to keep the fight on for P4. Now Ruthless is gonna move around the outside of an XQK and gets back P4. Let's see Truckster trying to make a move. Barks almost dive bombing Truckster.
Yeah.
In third tree.
Yeah, well, that was a little bit in between. It was not really a dive bomb and not really a very safe place to brake, so very difficult. But Barks survived, and so did Truckster, crucially.
Yeah, he gained some time in the braking zone, but as we were saying, he lost the momentum as Brabus got another 3-second time penalty.
Interesting.
And now Simopets, yeah, really interesting. Now Simopets has to find some pace to reduce this gap. Let me have a look back at the penalty situation. So, yeah, Brabus has 9, Simopets has 3. And XQK another 3-second time penalty, and now there are 9. So he's virtually in P8 at the moment.
Yeah, just moving himself way out of this battle with those penalties. He runs very wide coming out of turn 1 as well.
Yeah, and he's yet to pit because he's obviously not going to hand up this race on this compound of softs.
No, this strategy hasn't worked very well for NXQK, especially as he's not been able to hold the car within the track limits.
He had a really quiet race, and as we were saying that, he got in a gigantic battle among Ruthless P, Truckster and Barks. So really big effort now. Barks lost some time to Truckster, probably made a mistake, but I think he's gonna get his DRS back real soon, as also get 3-second time penalty.
Now, an interesting situation developing as Brabus starts to catch this midfield battle. So he now needs to be given the blue flags. He's now caught the back, I think, of Warren, and will have, in turn, he will have Manic Wumax to pass. It'll be a while between Manic and Wumax. Considering those two were fighting together a few laps ago, that gap has opened up hugely.
As Manic pitted, now he has company with Warren, so they're really close on track. Once again, they can't stay alone even if they're on completely different strategies, completely different tires, but the DRS is so powerful that Warren managed to keep up with Manic.
Talking about staying together, these two Ferraris have been locked together for the whole race long so far, and it doesn't look like they'll be any different, and on very similar strategies, just 2 laps apart on the same soft-medium strategy so far. I think that might be a soft-medium-soft, and we'll try and remember that Dirt Shark in the Red Bull, second Red Bull on the track, he should be pitted to the end.
As now I think Vumax is going into the pit trying to undercut it. Yes, he does. So he's gonna try the undercut on Arcus Monte. Oh, I see a car out is Zabijaka. Zabijaka is in the gravel, and it doesn't really affect too much the race, but Vumax is in the pit, so
well, he's obviously recovered the car, thankfully, so staying in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, as Barks continues to lose times, he's now 2.5 seconds behind NXQK, so maybe he does have a little problem on the car, or the tires are starting to drop off too much for him.
Yeah, exactly. I think he has had to use those soft tires more than he would like, but he's well in the range now to get some medium tires on for the end of this race.
Yeah, I think that he can pit to try the undercut, even if he will not have perfect medium tires by the end of the race. He could get track position, which is really the key.
Yeah, this really could be a very special reserve appearance from Brabus tonight. He's still got a 10.5-second gap over Simapes on the same strategy.
Which
really,
is not
really strong demonstration of his pace.
Yeah, it's not something that we see every race. It's having the same pace as Simapes. Was one, I think, almost every race he finished. The only one he didn't win was the one who DNF'd. So a couple of examples here and there in the first 2 seasons.
Manic and Warren are at it again. Leox,
wow,
in the midfield.
I was not expecting that.
Right down to the inside comes Manic, and a big contact this time. Manic did not manage to avoid contact, and he came off worse because I think he was he was too far back and made contact at the back of the.
Also, they're coming.
Yeah. And now. It's interesting, the game mechanics, because I do find that it tends to favour the person in front, whereas real life mechanics tends to favour the person behind.
Yeah, it's quite opinionable, the physics of this game. But
yeah. I don't know if you've seen the bouncing meme that's been going around.
The porpoising
on the start. Yeah, the porpoising bouncing on the start-finish straight.
Yeah,
on the grid. That's one of the best glitches I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's true.
Womack's just got Dirt Shark, so he's just on a climb up the field. Dirt Shark not able to really keep the pace with those hard tyres at this point. Womack's is on brand new mediums. That explains the difference there.
Yep. Also, a shout out to Warren and Rilster Avio, the only 2 drivers not to get a penalty at the moment. And in Austria it's really hard because with old tires it's really easy to lose the car and exceed track limits, so they're doing a fantastic job.
Definitely, yeah, and yeah, it's so tempting to take too much apex. And then sometimes you take too much apex and you bounce to the exit of the track as well. So yeah, it is a really hard track to stay within. I know the turn 9 and 10 are incredibly hard.
I'm a penalty guy, so I know what you're talking about. So their Shark in those arts has found some pace, some heat into the tires that manage to stay with Warren and Womack and fight for some points. Let's see the penalty situation of this trio. And Dershak has 6, Womack 3, and Warren has 0. So he has to find some room from the overtake and then to pull away.
Yeah, all he can do is maximise every lap and rely on other people to make mistakes.
Yeah, Arcus goes into the pit. He was ahead of Womack before the pit stop. So let's see what the gap is going to be between the 2 teammates of the Prancing Horse.
NXQK very close here to Trugster.
Yeah, 1/10 of a second. They are actually side by side, and now Trugster keeps his 5th place.
But only just, and NXQK trying to stay with him again on identical strategy.
So Arcus has put a brand new set of softs. Can he last by the end of the race?
Yeah, 5th, 6th and 7th place are all doing a soft medium strategy here. And honestly, I'm surprised to not see them come in to see the race out now, because we have seen 30 laps is perfectly possible on the medium tyres, Leox, already.
Yeah. Maybe someone is going to try the softs and get disqualified.
Yeah, that would be a pretty stupid thing to do, wouldn't it?
It would be so hilarious. You have this sense that tell you that you start the race.
We've got a retirement. I think it's Abijaka has just dropped out of the standings in between turns 6 and 7. He was off track, no big problem for anybody else, but that leaves us with 14 now, 6th retirement so far, and a big action going down into towards turn 3 now as well.
Ooh,
again, it's the midfield again.
It's the midfield again as Arcus tries to make a move around the outside of Warren, gets fantastic traction with this brand new set of softs and get a place on Warren, who is fighting from lap 1, I think, for 45 laps.
Now that's really interesting as well, that Hercus has put on soft tyres where his teammate put on mediums.
Yeah,
I really thought both would be putting mediums onto the end.
Exactly, so now Vomax let Hercus by, team orders almost, and Hercus, he has to manage his tires if he wants to complete the race on this compound. He has to do 26 laps, which is quite a challenge. I think he can do them, but the last 6 laps are gonna be horrible.
Yeah, so we now we stay with just 2 drivers as Simapez gets another penalty.
Yeah.
Simapez yet again, so I think that equalises things, am I right? Yes, 9 seconds each for the top 2, but they won't worry too much about accruing those as long as they accrue them at the same rate.
And now Urkus has the fastest lap overall, and I don't see someone snatching him, since the top 3 can't pit, because they are not in a safe range. So unless Trackster or NXQK pit, actually they have pitted for a brand new set of medium, I don't see them fighting for the fastest lap.
I think that could be possibly the last competitive pit stop of the race at this point now. Yeah, quite possibly. With Barks pitting now off the soft tyres, so he's going for his medium stint to the end of the race.
A little bit too late to put these mediums on.
Yeah, I think so.
He won't optimize them as much as he need. I mean, he can't push them all the 25 laps, which he may need that, but he could have been easily 5-10 seconds in front if he pitted 5 to 10 laps earlier. So Urkus 3-second time penalty, and with Womax just behind him, his teammate is being dragged along with this DRS, and also a train behind of Warren and their Shark, and I think Manic is coming to knock on the door of Warren.
Of course.
With a knife between his teeth.
Yeah. Manic by name.
As Alcrane is practicing some donuts on turn 3.
Doing a spin turn restart there. And we have another 3-way battle, Womax, Warren, Dirt Shark. And Dirt Shark is holding on these hard tyres, trying to ride out the whole race on this single pit stop.
Yeah, he's just relying on someone else's mistake, on someone else's battle, because he just can't have pace on these hards.
No.
And in fact, he almost lost the car there. I don't know if you were on board with him.
Yeah, he shouldn't have too much trouble keeping them in the right temperature window.
Yep.
As you would if there were safety cars. Hard tyres are just useless if they get cold. But he should be okay as long as he can keep pushing on the tyre. And that's the one advantage he will have, of course, Leox. He will not have to do any tyre saving whatsoever.
Exactly, as Barks is now pushing not to get Urkus close. Also an XQK and Trackster are separated, so Trackster did oh, and Simopet's another 3 seconds. So it's I think he has lost the focus at the moment. He saw that he hasn't the same pace as Brabus. Even if I have to say, they start. Ooh, an XQK is around on pace 6, so I think Barks is gonna catch him, and he does. In fact, Barks is in front now, and so the Ferraris as well. They're gonna cut him, and now there is another DRS train.
Yes, now we're gonna have 4 cars altogether.
An even long one, because now NXQK is the leader of a 5 cars DRS train.
And we are down, with Warren picking up a penalty now, we are down to 1 single driver without any form of track limit penalties.
as Arcus dives down the inside of an XQK, trying to make the switchback move, but it doesn't work because Arcus shut the door.
He's got better tyres at this point.
Yeah.
That's Hercus.
I have to
49.
say, even XQK does have a brand new set of mediums, and also on pure pace, I think an XQK is a little bit faster in raw pace, so I think we're gonna see them fighting till the end of the race.
Just a little update from Zabijaka.
Yep.
He said his race was destroyed because the Alfa Romeo in front of him at the start didn't make a start cleanly, and he ran into the back, broke his front wing, and he said he had no motivation to race. Now, presumably, I'm sure he didn't retire deliberately on the exit of turns 6 and 7, in between turn 6 and 7. I'm sure if he was bored and needed to stop, he would... big problem for NXQK getting the car stopped down there.
Yep.
I would have thought Zabijaka would have retired in the pits if it was voluntarily.
Yeah, I probably just got frustrated and maybe retired mid-lap, but he could have waited to the pit lane. You're right.
That's what we like, because it does affect other drivers' races.
Yeah, exactly. So, recapping, now I give my best, but unfortunately I spun. He spun. Okay.
Elkrin,
Fair
retirement for Elkrin into the pits and out.
Yep.
So he has exited the game completely.
Yeah, exactly. So
another penalty for NXQK running wide out of turn 10.
Also for Manik as well, and Dershak as well. So let's see the penalty situation, as NXQK set a fastest fastest third sector, and is now fighting Arcus Monte through turn 3.
Yeah, successfully passed, but he's just out there to have fun with 15 seconds of penalties.
Yeah. How many overtakes have we seen? I think we're counting hundreds of overtake this race.
Yeah, I think certainly more than one a lap at the moment.
Yeah. And now they switch position again, and Arcus tried to make a move down the inside of an XQK, and he makes the move stick.
I didn't see if they touched through turn 6.
Ooh, an XQK, fantastic stuff.
Great move. Yeah, great move from NXQK, switching back through turn 8.
Yeah, and now almost side by side, but Arcus conceded the position. Fantastic stuff. I think now officially
saying he did give his best, but he did accidentally spin between those two corners, but just didn't want to continue after that point.
Arcus around the outside of an XQK going through turn 1.
Oh, is there room? There is room. Wow.
Almost losing the car there. XQK as Vomax now joined his teammate.
and does that much easier than Arcus did.
And Arcus goes wide. He does have and around rails with 3 seconds. It's completely that every driver now has a penalty.
Warren enters the battle down to the inside
of an XQK, and their shark has lost a lot of ground. So I don't know, maybe he did a mistake, but it doesn't seem like he's catching. So maybe the tires are just not good enough.
NXQK, I think by the end of the race, will have worn away the grass on several corner exits.
Yeah.
He's doing his best to create a new racetrack out there.
A new company of lawnmowers. So,
yes, just sharpen that front wing and we'll be able to start trimming the grass. He slows dramatically down the start-finish straight. What was that all about?
Simopaz was passing through.
Ah, blue flag.
Blue flag.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it was strange to see him going right, drop 2 gears in the straight. I didn't know what he was doing.
I'm sure he was on his final blue flag warning then, before an even bigger penalty.
Yeah, now Simopets has this massive train of cars ahead, and now is NXQK gonna have a chance on Warren? No, it's too far away. It would have been cheeky to follow Simopets around on his way lapping the other drivers. Warren does seems like he has lost the pace, and maybe he's gonna pit for a set of softs, unless he can manage to do almost 20 laps on this medium.
Yeah, that's a big ask, isn't it? Another 20 laps, as it is for the top 4.
Ooh, and a Ferrari. Mark's Little Hood and Hercus Monte are both out of the race. What just happened?
Between turn 9 and 10, I didn't see the incident, but just saw from the perspective of Dirt Shark, they're far away from the racetrack.
Yeah.
Between the final 2 corners.
They're just shunting to each other, maybe trying to overtake in turn 9, or someone lost the car and got collected. So another 2 retirement. Barks was really driving his heart out this race, fighting almost for P4 at one point. So
I wonder how many cars we're going to have left in this race by the end of it.
Yeah. And Monty Perez has not even got them. So
there was a race that preceded my race a couple of nights ago that was going around Singapore. Had to be red flagged because there were only 3 runners left.
Wow, 3 runners.
So, yeah.
I mean, Singapore is a killer, but 3 runner is a little bit.
And that was only a 50% race. This is 100%. So
wow,
very different prospect. But yeah, we're down to 11 now, with on lap 55.
I think that happened something similar last year in Austria or 2 years ago. I don't remember in the real race. And Warren lose the car.
Goes Warren.
Yeah.
Oh, what a view I had on NXQK's car.
me as well.
Yeah, he's just getting the car back. I don't know if he took off the front wing.
You know what is gonna happen soon? Do you know it? Do you want to know? Manek.
It's going to be Warren and Manek, is it?
Yeah. Manek and
Warren has kept the front wing intact, so
he does
might be able to get it. But the 6-second gap between himself and Manek
could drop down. Now Warren has a lot of high heated tires, so
that's true.
It may slow down a bit. It doesn't seem like.
I imagine we're going to see another.
Oh, Trackster, massive 5-second time penalty for ignoring blue flag.
Yeah,
that's really something you want to avoid.
Presumably that was Simapez passing him, was it?
No,
I think Brabus is still trying to pass Truckster.
It's Brabus. It's Brabus behind.
Yeah, and he's only just got past.
Let's see the penalty situation of Truckster. And he has 8 seconds, so it doesn't really affect him, but surely it's just something that you want. So 8-second time penalty now. Also Vomax behind us 8, and SQK has 15. Their Shark 9 and Warren 3. So Warren.
Whoa! Out of the race goes Simapez.
What just happened?
Out of turn 4, Simapez lost the rear of the car on these old tyres, and he smashed into the inside barrier. The oversteer was huge. Could not control the car. 27 laps on the medium tyre, and that was the end of Simapez's race.
Wow.
The only person glad to see that, I would imagine, would be Nicholas Boyter watching on, who was unable to take part in today's race and sees his main championship rival as being Simapez. How about Reals Taravillo now up into P2?
Incredible Nicholas Boyter is speechless in the chat. No way.
Yeah, that was something to see Simapez make. Well, I mean, 2 major mistakes tonight is highly unusual.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We talk about before, Leox, we talk about the difficulty of focus when you're out on track completely on your own, and how easy it is to lose sight of your grip levels, or just for your mind to wander. And Simapez tumbling down the order now, of course, with that DNF. Yeah, drastic and terrible to see him out, but
incredible stuff. Wow.
Yeah, good for the championship at least, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm happy. Simapez is now DNF'd the first race and DNF'd the second one. So not the start he wanted, since the championship is only 10 races long. So he really needs to get the consistency back that he had in the pre-season testing.
Yeah, I affirm that. Completely agree. NXQK then is now on the tail of another driver. He's got Womax just in front of him. And looks like Warren has managed to gap Manek slightly.
Monty Perez is in the points now. Really happy to see him.
Yeah. He's some 2 minutes and 8 behind ninth place.
He's still catching Simopez.
But GG's, because
okay.
To keep going, other drivers have given up over far smaller gaps than that, Leo. So
yeah,
I have to
exactly.
say congratulations. And another penalty for NXQK as he makes an outside manoeuvre around the outside of Womack.
Yeah.
Just honestly, with NXQKs with these penalties tonight, he will be in range of being disqualified. I have seen, I think it's 28 seconds.
28 is...
and you get disqualified.
He has an 18 lap, and now Brabus has the opportunity to pit for a brand new set of softs, so he's gonna set the fastest lap. He doesn't want to leave anything on the board.
No,
and now
I'm sure he's here for everything he can get.
He has already all his energy deployed for this lap, so expect a banger from the Mercedes driver. The only Mercedes driver remained, and it's a 1:05.5. which is a qualifying time, basically.
Yes, some drivers didn't manage that in qualifying.
Yeah,
I think so.
And there are still 12 laps to go, so he might improve.
David says in the chat, consistency is key for championships. He's completely correct.
Also for 100% race.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas, I could have won this race, damn. If only you would have got up early.
Yes, if you happen to wake up early. It sounds like he did not adjust for the change for the British clock system. He said that we better not do this again, and he's safe until October. We won't do it again until October, at least.
Yeah.
But at least in October he'll be an hour early rather than an hour late, if he does miss the clock change.
At least. So, Womack 7 tenths behind XQK. Doesn't really matter at this stage of the race, since XQK has 18 seconds of penalty. Womack does have a solid 8, but
yeah,
it's 10 seconds less, and it's crazy to say that. I may be back next year. This season 1 and 2. David, which was your username? Sorry,
He's just saying it's D1974 David on Twitter.
No, I mean on PlayStation. Deepover, yes, surely. You were on a McLaren, right, last season. If my memory...
We'll wait to see what he says. Yeah.
Come on, Pavel.
Most
McLaren,
people
right?
remember the daylight saving time by the phrase "spring forward and fall back." But I can tell you, one of the best things to do to remember it for the rest of your life is to turn up 1 hour late for church one morning and have the entire church turn around and stare at you and laugh and know exactly what you were doing.
I read the Twitch chat, Webo, as Brabus goes faster once more. Deepover McLaren, so I was right.
You were completely correct. Yeah, you are the encyclopedia of the Better Racing League by UKessays.com.
Yeah. It's the only league that I commentate on, so it's much easier for me than you.
Yeah.
So things has finally calmed down a little bit. We have this final 10 laps to chill and enjoy some pretty I have to say boring racing, since we have had 60 laps of madness, completely madness.
Absolutely.
I've seen everything, battling for the lead, for the midfield, and also seen some drivers retire that I would never expect to see. Bart, Simopez. Incredible.
Yeah, Wimax and NXQK are doing their best to keep things interesting for us, but some of the gaps out there, the next smallest gap is nearly 7 seconds.
Wow.
I am still expecting some pit stops, possibly from Rills, possibly from Ruthless Pige, to put softs on at the end. I think they'll be fairly safe if they both do it.
Yeah.
And I think the pace of Rills and the lack of penalties means he's probably got a safe pit stop in hand.
True. Yeah, he does have.
Even if he puts softs on and comes out behind Ruthless Peach, I think he'll still get within 3 seconds. So.
He has just lost 2 seconds to Ruthless P, so if he wants to do a pit stop, he has to do it now.
Yeah, 31 laps on the medium tyre. That's a long run.
Yeah, with still 9 to go, so it's surely risking to lose the car any time, as Brabus gets another 3-second time penalty.
Obviously pushing hard for another fastest lap.
He doesn't want anyone to steal it away from it.
I think Womack might be in range now, at least on this straight. He's going to get there with the DRS. Is he going to get some room given to him from NXQK? Yes.
And he takes it.
I think NXQK deliberately gave up the DRS to come back at him.
It's
quite
just
sure he's got the overspeed. Womack has the battery to deploy and managed to keep ahead.
Yep. It's just stressing to have someone behind for this much time, not knowing when his shot is gonna be done. And now Womack.
Deepova says Barks wants him back as soon as possible. So
wants me on reserve. Yeah. It's nice.
If you can turn up on time, you're almost certain to get a reserve seat. As things have worked out in the first 2 races of this season.
Right, Nicholas, watching this through.
And Simapez, let's not forget.
Right, exactly. The two.
Although I do think for an Italian, the first Ferrari win since 2019. I think that was a good enough reason to be 3 minutes late.
Yeah.
The race last time.
I went 2 as well, so.
Yes. Oh, NXQK running wide. I think he's done everything he can on these tyres to keep Womack behind him, and now Womack has distanced him. Very difficult for him to take off. I think we're going to have to start taking it in turns, Leox, to choose which driver to watch, because the gap, there's no DRS working on the track on lap 64 here.
I think we can stick with Manic for the moment.
Never a quiet moment with Manic.
Yeah. I mean, everything can happen with him. Also, I'm desperately hoping that Warren goes into the pits for no reason at all. I just want these final 5 laps to be shocking. Also, Nicholas, chat, I wasn't listening. Say it again. We were talking about.
We're just mentioning about turning up on time.
Yes,
that's all.
We feel like you had.
I think that was for the best. If he wasn't listening.
Yeah.
So these penalties, NXQK has got 18 seconds. Manic is close on 15. 12 each for Dirt Shark and Motti Peretz. And then a lot more reasonable. Well, Brabus as well on a 12-second accrued penalty, which is half the distance he's got to Rils Taravillo.
Yeah, it's quite safe at the moment.
We've got a problem. We've got a problem on track.
Sector
Is it Motti
2.5
Peretz
Romeo.
off track again? No, it's NXQK.
NXQK, right?
Yeah, he's been off track on the exit of turn 6, which is where we've seen lots of problems so far tonight. I think his tyres are overheated.
And now Dershark is on his back. And Dershark has 50% of energy, so yes, plenty of.
UK avoiding the pit lane, so no huge damage. Dirt Shark, this is exactly what he wanted on those hard tyres, to see other people make mistakes at the end of their stint.
You know, has an opportunity to fight for. How many penalty does he have? Okay, he has 6 seconds less, so it's only for the record, this battle. If he can keep it clean, and he does. And the shot moves.
Good apex as well.
Yeah, really clean move.
Brakes a lot later. He's obviously got plenty of grip on the hard tyres. Feeling very comfortable.
Yeah, they're brand new, these hard tyres, right? only 40 laps old.
Yeah, only 40 laps old. Lots of life left. Could do another race after this. Yeah.
You can start the next race, which will be in. Do you happen to remind
I
me?
do not happen to remember, but I will look it up.
Thank you.
1 second.
And XQK, another 3-second time penalty.
We go to Spa next week.
Spa.
So that should be fun. Followed by Zandvoort, and then your favourites, Monza and Imola, I'm sure.
Wow, yeah.
And we will do full qualifying at the Imola weekend. We'll be doing full qualifying and full race, I believe.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Then we have a quick little season break, and then 2 reverse grid. 4 reverse grid races to finish off. Followed by, at the end of the season, the World Cup.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun event, the World Cup. We also had a fun event which was everyone on old cars. So.
Oh yes.
On the same old cars, we raced in the Renault, in the McLaren MP44, I think.
The problem I used to have doing events like that was that there aren't enough old cars that are competitive with each other to make it an easy commentary. It's always really difficult to follow because so many people are in the same car.
Yeah,
NXQK is right on the back of Dirt Shark again.
Yeah, let's focus up that Webbo.
Whoa! just gets past him.
Oh, and he's pushing actually.
Rude. Yeah, that was a bit of a code between the drivers, wasn't it? NXQK not happy about Dirt Shark for some reason.
Imagine doing 40 laps on the hards and then being shunned into the wall with 3 laps to go. It will be.
Yes. Yeah, I think Dirt Shark would do very well to just report that afterwards and breeze by NXQK with all the penalties at the end of this race. Just avoid NXQK for me right now.
I would just press the PS button for 4 seconds and turn off everything.
Yeah. So Dirt Shark is going to be fighting the urge to pass his own messages across to NXQK at this point.
Yeah.
It's be well worth us keeping an eye on these two.
I will just sit back 7/10. I mean, no need to do the overtake.
Yes, exactly, absolutely. He's not going to catch the next car ahead.
Yeah.
With just 3 laps to go.
Yeah. In fact, he's staying well aware of that, and he's behind 8/10. Using a little bit of the energy, so I think he wants to enjoy these last 2 laps.
So Nicholas Boyd is saying he's not looking forward to Spa and he'll be missing for Monza. So
he's going on vacation. Well, that's a good reason to skip Monza.
Yes, I haven't had a vacation for a long time thanks to the virus.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Dirt Shark. He's very tempted to have a go here. He's putting his life in the hands of NXQK again.
Who's looking for blood on track.
NXQK coming back down the inside, gets a fantastic drive out of turn 5.
Side by side now.
On the inside now. Oh, don't go wrong. I feel so sorry for Dirt Shark if this ends in a DNF.
Ooh, and that's NXQK round in turn 7, 8.
Just fighting too hard, and I think NXQK will have some attention from the stewards after this race as Warren gets by him as well. Another place lost.
No, it's true, but Warren, I think, got a problem with his overtake.
Yeah.
Oh, and rain. Did I see rain?
No way.
I was the only one. I think I was the only one seeing some rain. Maybe not.
I'm seeing lines on the McLaren on my stream.
Is it raining?
But it could be. I can't see any at the moment on board one of the drivers.
I saw. I swear I saw something. And in fact, it is raining. It is raining now.
Yeah, there you are. Exactly. Good catch. Obviously got better eyesight than I have.
2 laps to go now, 1.5 I should say, so Brabus just need to keep it safe.
Oh,
bring it home.
NXQK hits another driver in the braking zone.
Who? Warren.
He hit Warren, yeah.
Yep.
Warren is very cautious. I think his mediums have gone very soft, and they make contact once again. NXQK, I think he'll be lucky to be allowed to race next week.
Yeah, he's out for blood.
Yeah.
And now Warren is waving at him. He's saying, man, what are you doing?
I'm sure NXQK won't lose any sleep over that, though. But
NXQK another 3-second time penalty.
Big oversteer on the way out of turn 10.
Wow, for the boys.
He's doing it for the views today, I think.
Yeah,
and we're on the final lap with Brabus, and let's give him credit. Let's make sure Brabus finishes this race at the head of the standings.
Yeah. With just this twist at the end of the race, if only came up 2 laps earlier, then it would have been fantastic just to see some drivers skating around. I think someone is gonna lose the car there, surely.
I think the final 2 corners will be very difficult.
Yeah, as Brabus is fighting them and is stay safe and fast as he crossed the line and win the Austrian Grand Prix. The second round of the UKSS.com Beta Racing League goes to a reserve driver. So fantastic effort from him.
Yeah, brilliant to see him turn up, and he wasn't gifted this the way it looks like it. He was faster than Simapes in the first third of the race. He made fewer mistakes. So congratulations to Brabus, really making a claim to be given a full-time seat.
Ooh,
and here comes Rills then for the second place on track, and again another strong performance from Rills.
Yep, we're just now waiting for Ruthless P and Manic to complete the race. So at the end of the day, a really special podium. Brabus, Rilster, Avio, Ruthless P.
Yeah, and with Womax up 8 places, Manic has gained 10 places overall.
Wow.
He had a much calmer end to that race than certainly the middle stint.
Almost disappointing.
But he did actually gain from a lot of other drivers having DNFs. So we did get a good amount of drivers to the end of that one. I was thinking we were going to have very, very few after the halfway point.
Exactly. And so is a Mercedes on top, as we saw the 2 drivers leading the championship, Nicolas Boyd and Simapes. They fought for the championship the first 2 seasons, are in the best teammates. Today Nicolas Boyd missed the time for the race. Brabus gets in, get the win, get the fastest lap. So an amazing race. Also, I think it was a Grand Chelem, no? He was leading all the race, right?
Yes. Yeah. And so as you say, fastest lap, pole, everything goes to Brabus today.
So Grand Slam. No, Brabus started P1. So a Grand Slam for him. No, actually, Simapes started P1. Well,
we have Rills, Pige, Truckster, Womack, Dirt Shark, Warren, NXQK, Manic, Monty Peretz, all finishing the race. Then Simapes, Hercus, Barks, Elkrin, Zabijaka, Pat, T-Brand, Sinful, Sicario, and Yoke all failed to finish. So 10 finishes, 10 non-finishers.
Sadly, on my screen, didn't see the standing. We didn't see the standings, but the race is off. Thank you so much for sticking around for these couple of hours. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week in Spa-Francorchamps. Thank you, Vebo.
Awesome.